Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to all you guys that's again supporting the live streams, the super chats, the Patreon. I told you guys that we get exclusive content with different YouTube creators that you're not going to get, that's not going to be made public anyway. A small way of me saying, or us is saying, thank you for getting behind, supporting us, you know what I mean? And I'm going to start from left to right. I want each one of you guys to introduce yourself. Shout out to your channel and, you know, what you do here on YouTube or whatever. Maslin, you first. Maslin.
All right. Yeah, I'm Maslin, the real Maslin on YouTube, Twitter, Mixer. I do daily gaming news. So I cover everything from Xbox to PC to 3DS, even though I don't really care about any of that handheld bullshit. But other than that, I play games. We stream them, play whatever, take heads off and whatever.
All right. Next. Ooh. Hello. Who's that? Mello.
Mello.
Oh, dang. Oh, what's good, man? It's Double O Mello, man. Pretty much, I just started my YouTube. Mine's pretty much about music, pretty much anything I feel like talking about, video games as well. Mostly competitive gaming. So it is check out my channel, Double O Mello.
All right. Next.
Nethos.
What's going on, guys? My name is Nethellas. You can call me Neth, and some of these guys call me Nethels. Anyways, I'm going to be starting a YouTube channel soon, kind of like Mellows, and I'm going to be sticking to what I want to do. I'm not going to keep it just gaming. I'm going to do what I want to do. But my first video should be up in about a week.
All right. My man needs a week. Very important man. Okay, next.
Post up with the close up.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Post Up with the close up. Mr. Let's talk about it. Just
fresh off a body.
Fresh off a body. No, I picked out the casket this morning for him. He ain't know. But yeah, I just created my channel. It's called Post Up. And basically, I'm gonna be talking about gaming. I am into music. I write, produce, arrange, mix, master, and then more music. So I might throw a little bit in there. But yeah, but we're gonna keep it gaming, man. Broadband Bullies. You already know what it is.
For sure. Who's next?
Saltiest.
Yo, it's Saltiest Gaming. Sorry about the mic. My mic decided to break when the first time.
You got your mic next to your asshole. What's going on, shaky mic?
Yo, you know how it is, but Post Up, you did good in that debate. I'm about to debate next week.
Thanks, bro.
It's gaming, 2 words on YouTube. Yeah. So it's just Salty as Gaming. No.
What do you mean by that? Talk to me. Salty as Gaming. What do you mean by that? The Salty as Gaming.
So I've been playing, and I get real salty when I play. I do first-person shooters.
Oh shit! And TV breaker.
Yeah. So
he throwing controllers and everything.
Yeah. So when I play, especially if I'm in game chat, I get triggered real quick, and then it gets real salty real quick. So that's where that's from. So yeah, my channel, I do gaming news. Like today, I talked about how Spotify is coming to Xbox and how it was a PlayStation exclusive before. But yeah, I keep it,
All right. Has everybody introduced themselves?
Now, what's going on, people? This is your guy, Garrett from XBL Gaming, and y'all know what I do. I destroy people. I break hearts. I tear your soul apart in Titanfall. Y'all know what I do. I scream. I kill you. I kill whoever you bring with you. You know how I get it. You better ask everybody in this podcast. That's how I get it down out here. You hear me?
Talk about it.
Might even do it tonight if I can wake up. But it is what it is, man. Check out the Broadband Bullies. That's my squad. That's what I stream with. That's how I roll with. I don't care about anybody else. And no, I am not a blood, okay? King's blood comes from Game of Thrones, and it's a nod to my grandfather. So and whoever out there who's saying, "Oh, he's a blood," he admitted it. No, I'm not. Stop it.
Run into traffic blindfolded.
Man.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with the Bloods. I'm just not one. Don't use me to prove a lie. No, sir. Ain't got nothing to do with that.
All right, no problem. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, these are some. Of course, you've seen King's Blood with me, Master. He showed my man Post Up. They always rock out. Like I said, you guys know about the live streams and just different shows that I do. Like I said, what we're doing now, something I used to do before. When people get scared to take those L's, or I'm bringing back, I don't say Xbox versus Pony, but debates, for all shits and giggles. Like I said, we mostly, this one maybe probably every Friday, or maybe even Saturday night, depending on your work schedule, whatever the case may be. Next week, we got up my man Salty's game. He's going against Jabari. It's kind of feared out in these gaming streets. We're gonna make it happen. The winner gets a $20 point card to either PSN, Xbox Live, shit. Nintendo ain't getting no money. Fuck that. Steam, or whatever. You know what I mean? Fuck you mean. But anyway, getting right into this show. I have a few things I want to talk about. Now, like I said, I have been talking to some of you guys personally about some of these topics. So, starting with you, Double O, Mello. The Xbox One X, is this something? First of all, do you own a PlayStation 4 too, or what is your preferred console of choice? Just for the record.
Preferred Xbox. I do have a PlayStation. I only do it for the single player aspect, nothing multiplayer.
Or for the video cam, the shows they got going on at night. Could they still be doing shit with the ladies getting naked and shit on PlayStation?
They be still doing late night action now, man. I just wanted to play Horizon. That's it, man.
Oh, okay,
I don't know about all that shit.
Oh, no,
Days Gone.
So do you have a Pro or do you have a Slim?
I got the Slim.
All right, my man on the budget. I can appreciate that. Now listen, the Xbox One X is coming out November 7th, if I'm not mistaken. Is this something that you're interested in? If so, why?
Man, interested. I already got my pre-order ready. My game slug card ready, man. I already got 300 on deck. So
that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking
about. Right when Microsoft say something, let somebody know something, yeah, I'm down there to get my pre-order, man.
All right, for sure. Salty is gaming. Like I said, first I'm talking to you about your, are you an Xbox guy, PlayStation guy? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm an Xbox guy, but I'm not a fanboy by any means. Like, I would say that, I don't have a PlayStation right now, but I keep it real with PlayStation. But I've been on Xbox. I've been on the OG Xbox, Xbox 360, and then the One. I have it all. All
right. So my question is, why don't you own a PlayStation? Is nothing that you want there? Gaming on the budget, but you was born with no kneecaps. Talk to me. Fixed income. What's up? Talk. What we got going on?
All right. So me and my friends had this discussion. So I have lots of friends, and I like to play with them. So that's why I play on Xbox, because let's be real, Sony has lots of first-party exclusives, but they're all single-player games. That's good and well. Yeah. But I like my first-person shooters. I have all my friends, and Xbox Live is the place to be if you want to play with your friends, and that's just facts. I'm sorry, can you guys name one of the first-party exclusives that they have that's a multiplayer banger? I don't know. I'll sit here and I'll wait.
Listen now. If my man Jabari was in here, he's going to tell you Street Fighter 5. He's going to tell you Killzone, and maybe even Uncharted. Or didn't The Last of Us have multiplayer also? So that's what he's going to say. Or he might even scream out, Lawbreakers. Fuck you mean? But again,
Lawbreakers. Oh man.
That's and again, like I said, it may not be for you. Like me personally, I don't.
No, that's true. That's true, man.
I don't care for. I'm not saying it's crazy. I'm just so used to the Xbox controller. I can't play shooters on that PlayStation. I can't. I don't like the two thumbsticks so close together. It feels awkward to me. But if to be fair though, that's not Sony's strong suit. They're more of a single player story driven thing. That's their thing. And Microsoft and Xbox all about the multiplayer. But which is cool, not a problem. So again, are you interested in getting the Xbox One X? And if you are, why and why not? Or talk to me.
Okay, so I am definitely interested in getting the Xbox One X, but there's a little caveat there because I have, a 1080p TV, and I know about super sampling, and I know about all the assets and all that. But I believe that I need to get a 4K TV first because I want to buy that. I'm a father. I have a family. We have a budget and all.
But my man, that's what I'm talking about. Okay.
So I believe in the brand, and I believe in the Xbox One X and what it is going to deliver to, gamers in general, and I believe it's going to sell well. But for me personally, I'm just going to stick with the Xbox that I have now. And let's say PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds comes out and it's not running well on the OG Xbox or the Slim, then it will move me towards buying the X. I think the PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is going to be a big seller because if it runs like dog shit on the S and it's running really well on the X, people are going to come out in droves and buy that. They're going to do that anyway, right?
Yeah, well, yeah,
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I mean, I at the end of the day, and at the end of the show, we're gonna start my man a GoFundMe page. We're gonna get my man that 4K TV so he can get that Xbox One X day one. Fuck you mean, but no, for real though, that is, I mean, actually, we can all touch on this here. I think Microsoft at the end of the day needs to do a better job at letting people know, that even if you don't have a 4K TV, that you can still take advantage, of the Xbox One X and the graphics. Because I already see now you have sites like IGN come out and say like, I'm not going to be, what do you say? Now I'm going to go out and buy a 4K TV. Thank you, Microsoft. And again, I didn't hear that same pushback last year in September when Sony finally revealed the PlayStation 4 Pro. It was nothing but praise for the console. I'm not trying to put on a tinfoil hat here, but at the start of the meal, I had something that I noticed that things weren't even on the playing field. But like I said, it is what it is. Post up, you there? Yeah, this mic won't really back there doing, but
yes, sir. What's good?
Like I said, this is the question, right? What do you think Microsoft can do now, right? Just right now, because to me, I see now they dealt with the Taco Bell thing, and it's something I went back and forth with crapping those guys on BGST, and this is my opinion. Maybe you guys may feel different, but to me, I'll take you back to E3 2016, and when to me Microsoft had a lot of momentum coming out with the Xbox One S, 4K Blu-ray player. They were talking about HDR, and they also announced 6 teraflop console, Project Scorpio, right? And to me, then they had a lot of steam. But it seemed like they just took their foot off the gas and started cruising. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel the same way after this E3. Here, this you reveal to the world the most powerful console ever. Because again, I like how they're saying, now it's about the games and games. Sony got to scream at games because let's be fair, they didn't have any games for the first 3 years. You know what I mean? Because when you have your own head guy come out and said that I'll line up as far as, Now I know they got that, they're gonna have a huge 2018, and which kudos for them. I'm a gamer at the end of the day. I just prefer the Xbox, right? But again, like I said, not like I said, the narrative's about game, but like to me, I think Microsoft should really be out there in the streets yelling from the rooftop, hey, we got this Titanic coming, this 4K, behemoth, it should be everywhere. McDonald's, Burger King, everywhere. What do you feel about what you think Microsoft should be doing? Like I said, to really truly win over the casuals, the core, the hardcore, to even sway some Sony fans. What do you think they should do?
I look at it like music. Sometimes you hear a great song and you like it, but sometimes you might hear a song that you don't like, but it's put in your ears so much you find yourself singing it or knowing the lyrics to the song or at some point liking it because it's constantly put in your ear. I think in terms of the Xbox One X, that's what they need to do in regards to advertisement. Just like the posters they had on the side of the building with the Xbox One better tested in the future. I don't see no posts or any advertisement right now in regards to the Xbox One X, and it needs to be out there. I don't think they should wait to the holiday season or close to the holiday season to do so. I think they need to start now. The more eyes you can put your product in front of, then the better chance you have of selling that product to as many people as you can from kiosks. I think if you're going to put the console in a store and just let people look at it, why not have a demo of games running on there in 4K that people can test out now? So when people walk in the store, they're just not looking at a picture that says the most powerful console ever, but they actually see visual proof and have a hands-on experience prior to the product even coming out. Just sitting it in the store and saying it's the most powerful ain't gonna work. Show me some videos. Let me play a demo or something.
Let me hit you with an idea. Let me play a little bit of devil's advocate and hit you with an idea. Does it cross anybody's mind that maybe Microsoft understands? Listen, we're gonna lose this generation. Let's not waste too much money on like excessive stuff, like excessive marketing and stuff like that. Like maybe they might be closing up on that just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I don't see no Xbox commercials. I don't see none of it.
This nigga sound like K Mega. I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm being all the way honest, bro. I'm being all the way honest. Let's go talk about it. Listen. They probably like, listen. We doing like 30-some million right now. We gonna probably end up like 60 million before the damn console generation's over. But what we need to do is hit a stride right now going into this is what they need to do. Hit a stride while going into the next generation. You'll get it right back. You know what I'm saying? The way they building like our trust back up. That's what's really important right now. Because trust me, them Sony cats see it, especially them side switchers. They see it. They'll be back. I guarantee you. Maybe not for the Xbox One X, but they'll be back next generation. So
this is how I see Microsoft working, because this is just their mentality as a whole. Right now, Microsoft in every single generation, they have pushed something forward. They see something in the future where we're going, like the whole always online and all that stuff. All that's a reality right now. Whether anybody wants to admit that or not is irrelevant. That is a reality. But they see it, and the problem Microsoft has is instead of seeing it and explaining why they're doing it, they just do it and expect you to be okay with it. So what they did was, instead of pushing all the marketing on the TV, they went to the numbers. The numbers say everybody DVRs. Don't nobody watch commercials unless it's during the Super Bowl. You may see a PlayStation commercial in passing, but you ain't sitting there watching the commercial. And you watching, anything that come on TV, you DVR'd it and you fast forwarding through the commercials. But you go on YouTube, you see an Xbox advertisement, you see a PlayStation advertisement, because that's where the majority of people spend their time. Netflix, YouTube, they consume online media. So that's where they're focusing. They're focusing on the online aspect. They're focusing all their marketing dollars on something that's not going to cost them money. It costs easy $1 million to make one of them little Madden commercials that's 30 seconds that got Richard Sherman, one random football player, and it costs $1 million to put that on the air in the middle of prime time on NCIS or something, and nobody watching that show cares.
But why spend that money when we do the marketing for them?
Right, you can put on YouTube.
We pretty much do the marketing for them.
Consoles out to these YouTubers, these influencers, quote unquote, and let them be your mouthpiece. It's the same as when you talking to a shorty. You start talking to this chick, you give her the business, so she go telling all her friends how you gave her the business. Now you want to see who want to try you out. It's the same job.
My man, I didn't hear him say.
Master sound like you ready for a debate.
Yeah, I know. He coming next.
No, I gotta get in here. Go. Yeah, I gotta get in here. Anyways, everything you guys are saying are facts. I absolutely agree with everything. But they need to do some sort of marketing. If it's a YouTube ad, if it's 45 seconds, whatever. They need to get in there. They need to explain, as he said earlier, people don't know what the fuck super sampling is. It's just a term they have, and people don't understand what it means. You can say, if you don't have a 4K TV, it's fine. You're going to play your games at ultra graphics. If you upgrade to your 4K TV, you'll get the best inline crisp 4K. They need to drive these terms into these people, make them understand why the X is worth it, and that'll help the YouTube influencers out as well.
It's cheaper to market on YouTube and Facebook than
exactly.
So
nothing to publish, because this is hard.
I have sponsored like one of my music videos. You can set a certain amount of money and have that ad. Yeah, on Facebook, you can sponsor your post. You can sponsor it with Facebook. You go on there and they say this amount of money will get you this market share of people. This amount of money will get you exposed to this many people. And I spent like $20, like $15, $20 easily, and reached about 10 to 15 maybe 20,000 people easy just off that that $10 to $15 bucks. So it's real cheap to do. So I guess that's why they're more.
It's direct injection because you got to think about it. Like, how many people follow the Xbox YouTube channel? How many people?
Not even 2 million.
Right.
Like 2 million.
So those 2 million people, they sit there, they'll see the video, and then they on another video watching some PewDiePie or somebody, and before their channel, an ad plays. That's an Xbox ad because the way the algorithm works, they pay YouTube to go into a certain algorithmic state, and now you see the video in more places.
And
but
you can control your audience too,
right?
By age, you can say I want to target this age bracket, or I want to target from this age to this age. So yeah.
All right. Okay. A post up. I'm sorry. Double Mellow. You wanted to add in something here. What you wanted to say?
Yeah, I ain't want to talk over nobody, but yeah, pretty much what everybody's saying is exactly what it is. This is why you shouldn't waste your time with marketing right now. Even with the music industry as whole, when it comes with the streaming, it's in turmoil. So people can't really advertise themselves like they used to. With the Taco Bell situation, it's a good look for Microsoft because people eat Taco Bell. But also, like you just said, when the NFL season come around, Microsoft had the Surface Pro to deal with them as well. So if I got these key marketing, and then also I got people like us that's on YouTube that's marketing my brand as well, why would I have to focus on pumping out more money? On top of that, we just found out that the whole FCC situation with the part, which was stopping the dig on pre-orders, was the reason why they wasn't displaying the system. I'm sure at Gamescom the system would be there, playable and everything else, but at that moment you can't do nothing. Outside
they said it's going to be playable at
game.
Gamescom. It's going to be playable at Gamescom.
Exactly. So it's like you're going to get a chance to see the system run, the games going as it is at Gamescom before the console even comes out. It's still 2 months of marketing, so you're good to go.
I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here, and I'm gonna address what Garrett was saying about why spend. To be honest, I don't think it's about the generations anymore because Microsoft already came out and said no longer will you be left behind, no longer will your controllers or your games get old. So I don't really know if we're still dealing with generations. Microsoft lost a lot of speed. I'm gonna be honest, they lost a lot of the market share, just even home. Okay, they never had the market share over there in the whole of Europe. They do well in UK, but a lot of them other territories such as Spain and Italy, those are Sony dominated places. You know what I mean? Yeah, but when I'm talking about home, you know what I mean? When we look at the MPDs, they need to do a better job because what you were saying, you have YouTubers, right? And look, I'm what you call a small potato in this pot of YouTubers. But I can also thanks to you next year, I got this, so I didn't know about that. Cool, but to even get guys, bigger YouTubers that went so pro Sony this generation, the Boogies of Pony, Boogies, the Angry Joes, or whoever, you know what I mean, to get them. Like I said, Microsoft, I think again needs to do a better job at explaining. Not to us, because we know about the super sampling. We know about, what they're going to do with the HDR. But again, we make up a very, very small part of the demographic, okay? And this is something that I learned, as I started doing this. I met people in the industry. Consoles don't really fly off the shelves till they get that first price because they come down to about $200. That's when they really start doing big numbers. You know what I mean? That's when the casuals go on board. And I think both Microsoft and Sony kind of shot themselves in the foot at the start of this generation because there was so much cross-gen development. If you look at basically for the first 3 years, Microsoft exclusive yet. Forza 2 was on the Xbox 360. Tomb Raider. Sony had the Little Big Planet. Both of those was on the PS3 and the PS4. Titanfall, another one. Even games like Destiny, games like a lot of the huge multi-plats were still coming on both consoles. So even like, look, bro, I cut on my 360. My Xbox. I still see dudes on the 360. Like that shit blows my mind. Now, like it's like the gift that keeps on giving, like herpes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it ever died. I think they just finally stopped producing them. But there are still a lot of gamers, Xbox gamers, are still thriving and playing on the 360. With the 360 sold with 98 million consoles or something last generation. And what they are now with the Xbox One, about 30 million, 32 million, whatever the case may be. So there are still, like I said, maybe say at least 40 million jokers that can still come over to the Xbox side. But like cross generations, you know what I mean? You gotta spend money to make money. You know what I mean? This business wise, you gotta spend money to make money. And you have a new product that's new on the shelves. Okay, I understand the Xbox One S is going to be the main console because it's going to be about $200 this holiday season, at least for the next year or two. You know, it's going to be probably still their number one seller.
But my question is this though, and this was for anybody can answer it. How can you explain something like that to novice that doesn't really understand what a system can do? Because let's be honest, this is the first system that came out where you have to break down in detail of what the system can actually do. And most times, just like the Crackdown demonstration, most people saw that and it was like, oh, it's a nerd fest. We don't want to hear the numbers and everything else. We just want to see the action. But right now, Microsoft is like, okay, how can we explain this to you without boring you? You get what I'm saying? How can you advertise the nerd side of this system?
Okay, I'll try to answer this question.
Yeah.
So when the PS4 came out, they pushed the resolution 1080p. No one knew what the fuck resolution was, but they managed to push it down your throat, and now people are experts in resolution, supposedly. So what Microsoft needs to do is explain how much bigger 4K is over 1080p, how awesome 4K is, and then do other shit like show what true HDR does to your game, and so on.
Yeah, the way they market this is easy. Like, because this is what's going to happen. After Gamescom, or at Gamescom, they're going to show a bunch of side-by-side comparisons. After Gamescom, once they say this is on sale, we'll start to see the marketing for it in the wild. They're not going to do it until it's available for pre-order, because if somebody sees the commercial for the Xbox One X right now and walks into Best Buy and be like, I want to pre-order it, and they say it's not available, they will immediately forget about that system. So they're not going to put on any nuance about it until it's available for pre-order. But after Gamescom, you'll start seeing the commercials where they'll show this is what your game looks like without the Xbox One X enhancements. This is what it looks like with it. They're going to show that's what their commercials are going to be. Side-by-side comparisons of Xbox games, Xbox One normal games to Xbox One X enhanced games. And that is just going to be
they got to take
brighter.
the Apple approach here. You know how like Apple used to say like a Mac is better than a PC in this way. They got to do shit like that. That's what's going to really drive the casuals. And plus, we have to remember, if we take a look back at our gaming history, Sega used to push their power by saying turbo graphics and shit like that. They show a kid with like his mind being blown away by the TV. They need to do stuff like that. I mean, I think the PS4 Pro actually had a commercial like that, funny enough.
Dynamic one, yeah.
I didn't know my mic was muted. Devil Mello said something. He said, how do you explain
the nerd stuff?
Yeah, without putting in the...
You don't. You just make everything look pretty.
No, exactly. The simplest way you do it. Like you said, you know, Sony came out there, motherfucking said, 1080p makes you a better gamer, okay? Come out there and say 4K makes you a better goddamn Christian. They have to, again...
So they need a slogan.
No, not even. No, I won't even say a slogan because let's be honest. We got to be honest with ourselves. We got to call a spade a spade. This generation's been really about games thus far. Now they're trying to change it. They're been about resolution and frames per second. Okay, I've always said since day one, you know, that resolution does not give you better graphics. Okay, it's the textures and the shaders. You know what I mean? Microsoft has to hit this thing and said all games will look graphically better on the Xbox One. If you got a 4K TV or not, we're doing things that the PS4 Pro could only dream of. Shit like that, you know what I mean? You got Phil got to come out there and take the stage and get the motherfucking, what's my man? Peter Moore had the Halo 2. I'm sorry, he had the Grand Theft Auto chat or some shit on his shoulder.
Oh, the Gears tattoo. Yeah.
X in the middle of his chest and say with 4K ringing, they got to listen. They got to get cocky like they used to be. You come out. I'll give you an example, right? I said this around the time of when Microsoft closed a Fable Studio down, you know what I mean? When they closed them down, you know what I mean? And again, it's crazy. I'm not saying I don't get credit for a lot of stuff, but I said back then, and this is coming from a true core Xbox fan that's been there since 01 and been a beta tester on the launches. Since Xbox Live in 2002. You know what I mean? I told, listen, I swear to God, my right hand got online, I'm flying. I said these same exact words to Phil Spencer, right? I said, and I remember I might have been talking to South now on the phone or one of the shows or something. I said the space that Microsoft in right now is not healthy. And what I mean by that, if you go back and you look at what they use, how the original Xbox was, right? And all of these exclusives, you have stuff like Otagi and Brute Force, Bruce Lee the Legend, Project Gotham, Reckless Mix, all types of shit, right? And so now when you're just guaranteed, right, to get a Gears, Halo, and Forza. And then again, well, we had Sunset Overdrive. I know we had all these other games. I understand that, Quantum Break, but we're not guaranteed to get a sequel in any of those games. You know what I mean? By them, whether you love Halo or not, and which, like I said to me, I'm a big Halo fan, and I understand they still own the IP, but by them even just cutting Lionhead Studios, right? That's like to the equivalence of Sony letting go Sony Santa Monica. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't understand, like, people, I guess, suffer from nostalgia. People like to sing the praise of Rare. I'm not a big fan of Rare. I'm just being honest. I liked the Killer Instinct. I liked the RC Pro-Am back in the day. But just looking at if you compare the two studios, right? If I'm lying, I'm flying. Rare to Lionhead Studio and what they offered Microsoft. All Rare has made was grabbed by the Bullies, Cameo, Perfect Dark Zero, maybe something else, and they hit gold with the Kinect Sports and the avatars. You know what I mean? If you look at Lionhead, the Fable 1, 2, and 3. I like the 1 and 3 the best. I don't really care for 2. I don't think they should have ever made a Fable Kinect game. You don't water down your franchise like that. But just comparing the two, you know what I mean? It's like you don't do that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just felt some type of way. I just think that they were moving in a bad light. You know what I mean? And I didn't know this at the time. A lot of people don't know this. Phil has a boss. You know what I mean? Everyone thought that Nadala was Phil's boss. Nah, it's another guy that's over Phil who really is a dickhead. I heard. I mean, so Phil even has a boss. I just miss the days of the old Microsoft. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though they were getting their teeth kicked in by the PS2 and the 6th generation, I still had more faith in that platform. You know what I mean? Like, they were still, they were still out there bitch pumping their chest. This Microsoft here, I don't know, man. They're a battered woman out there. Like, they're afraid of their own shadow. Go out there, bitch, and be the behemoth that you are. You know what I mean? Apple removed the fucking headphone jack.
Absolutely agree with you, Z. Like, okay, with the original Xbox, even though they're getting their teeth kicked in, even though they were by far doing terrible compared to the PS2, they still promoted their fucking games. Like, look at Halo 2. That was one of the biggest fucking games out there. You knew Halo 2 was coming out,
yes,
but
sir.
You don't know about some of these games. You don't know about Crackdown coming out. There's no commercial for Crackdown. Where's my advertisement? I don't care about the grassroots bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I'm overshooting. What? Hey, Salty's a game of talk. Am I bugging? I done drunk too much call server talk to me. Like, how do you feel about that?
Nah, I don't think you're off at all. But I just want to play devil's advocate because I made a video on my channel about this, and so the video game industry, they make money off of software, right? Yeah. It's not hardware. They're not going to be making money on the X. Yes. So, in my opinion, I think they're just trying to give gamers options, and I think for the most part, if you took a poll, the people that are going to be going out there day one to buy the X are going to be Xbox people. So I made a the video that said Xbox doesn't necessarily, Microsoft doesn't necessarily mind if you're buying the X because they just want you to be buying Xbox Live, right? They want you to be participating and buying games on their service. That's why they want to give you options. Phil talked about it himself. He said, we know that the majority of people are going to be buying the S, and that's okay. So I think a lot of people are confusing the approach for the brand itself and then the Xbox X itself. I think that Microsoft is trying to say, hey, everybody that's with us right now, we want to keep you, We know that PlayStation has this huge lead and all this other stuff, so they're making this beast of a console that they know in about a year is going to drop in price. So then those casuals will start trickling in. Do you know what I'm saying? So you are going to get some people that aren't with Xbox to buy the Xbox One X, but it's not going to be the majority of the people. But once the people do get their hands on this beast of a console and they get the word of mouth out there, it's like a snowball effect. So they're gonna just have word of mouth and boom, 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 boom. More people buy the console. Like I said, so that's just my opinion, because if I'm on the Xbox I'm on right now, or if I go out and buy an Xbox X, it's no different to Microsoft, because I'm giving them the same amount of money. What do you guys think about that? I don't know.
I don't even think I can counter that, man. Like, that was just sound logic right there that you just used. Almost all of it. Like, I don't know.
That's just an opinion that I haven't heard, because let's just be honest here. We're all on Xbox. We want, Microsoft to do well, but they're $1 billion company.
Yes.
And okay, so they make wise business decisions. They've had some failures out there, obviously bundling the Kinect with the original. Xbox was a failure, but PlayStation, for another example, the Sony side, they've made lots of questionable decisions when it came to focusing on VR, PS3, some other stuff. I don't want to bash on them, but I take faith in a business that is profitable, and I know the approach that they're taking. So I don't know. So a lot of people are focusing on the Xbox One X as like something that is going to, catch us up in the numbers game. It's not our numbers game. First of all, we shouldn't even care about how many consoles are sold by Microsoft. We should just support the product as it is and be happy
and hope it's viable.
Yeah, we should be happy that they're giving us options, honestly.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I gotta say, I like your take on the Xbox One X. This isn't, to catch us up in numbers. This is to control a sort of power narrative. No longer will Sony hold the power narrative. It's Microsoft's. If people want the power, they can get the Xbox One X. The hardcore can upgrade. And people do not have to hear the stupid resolution talk that was bringing down the sales of the Xbox, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, the reason they put out the reason they put out the Xbox One X and the S as a whole was, like Post Up was saying, is all about consumer progression of what they think, like what their projection of your company is. And in order to control that narrative, you literally give them something that's overpowered. You say, here, I gave you all the power you want. There's nothing more powerful than this in the space that we are operating in. So no matter what, that can never be an argument. You start removing variables. You stop giving them stuff to say negative about you. They'll find some little stupid stuff like it's 1800p instead of 2160, but it's still the most powerful console out. There's no denying that. No matter what you say, that is a fact.
You have to change the customer's perception of your product, and that's what this is rebranding, re-image, and changing the image. And if you look at it, they're phasing the Xbox One out. They don't even put the one. They don't even talk about the original X. They is phasing it out. They only say S and X now. They do not even say the original Xbox One anymore.
Yeah, they don't even want to think about that, because that thing was just a nightmare.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, again, I will say this, and Microsoft, out of the big three, you got Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. I won't say Microsoft unless they started a year late after Sony, and what initially showed the bulk of the PlayStation 2s were that it was the cheapest DVD player on the market. You know what I mean? That was really big for them. You know what I mean? It took off. That took off for them. And again, I asked this question several times, and maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I slipped above my head in this hot tub time machine. Porter Rock said something yesterday on the multiplayer, the fact that Microsoft messaging. And I admit at the start, they misread the consumer. What I mean by that, the audience, when they had the first initial reveal, and all the features of they showed, I was all aboard, because again, no one just buys a console to play games. That's bullshit. The PS3 is in the Guinness Book of World Records for the #1 device used for Netflix. It's not my opinion. That's a fact. All of these consoles, whether Microsoft, Sony, whatever, wants to be the #1 source of entertainment in your living room. Okay, it is what it is. It wasn't what they showed in all the TV shit. Is that people that took off work or whatever you were doing, They went there and they wanted to see what the games and what the console can do, graphics or whatever, because we was in the previous generation lasted about 8 or 9 years. I got sick of it myself. The shit just went on too long. You know what I mean? It's the fact that, again, you had the Red Ring of Death. Microsoft had to recoup from that. Sony lost money with the Blu-ray and 3D. You know what I mean? So they wasn't in a really rush to move it forward. Anyway, then you had what you call the Kinect came out, which was the gift and the curse. It was the number one. I think it broke records and most selling whatever device, stand or something. Shattered all types of records. You know what I mean? So that essentially extended the generation about 2 years. 2 years too long, right? So present day. So of course, like I said, people took off to see, and they showed nothing but TV. You know, we all seen the Xbox One VCR box and all that stuff right there, right? So then you had E3 and their messaging. You know what I mean? And I'll give you an example. I always say this, right? My wife should say, Zaire, take out the motherfucking garbage. This shit stink. Now I ain't taking shit out. It ain't what you say, is how you say it. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's Microsoft messaging in their wording. They didn't have the right people up front to answer the questions, or you know what I mean, it had to be. I remember I forgot the guy, one of their top guys. They gave him the boot and said something about it always being online. And people back then even panicked. And I don't know why now, because we've been dealing with DRM, believe it or not, since the previous generation with the online passes. You know what I mean? And you know,
and Steam
or whatever, and it's just your messaging. You know, whatever you don't have, like, who the fuck buys a next generation console at launch and doesn't have the internet? Let's be realistic with this, okay? So even if that Microsoft, again, I'll give you the old school term saying, they panic and threw the water out with the baby. You know what I mean? They just panicked. They should have stuck to their guns or whatever. Because Sony was going to do the same thing also. You know what I mean? Sony probably kicking themselves in the ass because they missed so much money by not implementing or saying, this is how we trade. We're not going to do it. Because if you listen to, again, what they said, the fine line, they said that we wouldn't for our games. But if you looking at what Microsoft said, you said, this is what the third-party publishers are asking for because they're losing so much money making these games, and you got places like GameStop, whatever. When it wasn't that you couldn't trade your used games, is when you did, or trade your games, is when you did trade your games with GameStop or whoever, they were forced to give the developers back a piece of the money, which I thought it was cool.
Yeah, basically royalties.
I would like to sit and trade my games with you digitally online. I thought all that shit was fly, right? So anyway, moving right along. So he said that, that's the reason why Sony outsold the Xbox at the start of the generation. I said no, because I said got the month wrong. Microsoft was only out for 4 days in the month of November, and they sold the most consoles ever in a day. But they did beat Sony in 2013. They had a huge lead in December. But even with the mismessaging and them still being $500, but what started to change the narrative was them forcing, started to push 1080p. Everything that a more powerful console. That again, I say this again, exclusives are cool. But exclusives, the days of the Mario, the Sonics, or even the Halo or Gears or whatever, or whatever, Golden Axe, is no more. You know what I mean? They're going to come out and sell well initially, but then after that, you know what I mean? You see the same 10 multiplats in the top 10 month after month, whether it's Grand Theft Auto, 2K, Madden. You see where I'm going with this, right? So that started to push the narrative. Why would I pay $500 for a console when it's $400 and it's more powerful and I can get 1080p? You understand what I'm saying? That shaped and molded the landscape. And even when Microsoft removed the Kinect, I believe it was in March or either April, right along time Titanfall came out, and it was the same price as the PS4. You understand what I'm saying? It's still because again, Sony had the better version of the multiplats. You know what I mean? Which is huge. You know what I mean? Now they're trying to say now that doesn't matter. I see what the hell it don't. You know what I mean? That was the 360s, probably they had the better version of the multiplats. Like I said, what do you think I'm over exaggerating? Or I'm not saying exclusives are not important, but I people act like to me like they have amnesia, like they don't remember what happened for the last 3.5 years.
You know what your problem is, Z? You're forgetting that the winning side writes history. So therefore, the winning side says it's about exclusives now. So look who all running with it. Not only are there fans running with it, but the weirdo media sites are running with it. You can't forget that, bro.
Well, okay. Well,
that is an absolute fact.
That's just the
but anyways,
Z,
you're right. There's so many narratives why the PS4 was better, but it all came down to power, 1080p, and now people are trying to run away because Microsoft is destroying them in that power narrative.
Yes, it is. But we also got to remember. Okay, what? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. What?
and I was just going to say that we also got to remember that it was more powerful and it was cheaper. That's the same thing. We had that same. Big. We also had that. We also, even though the PS3 was stronger than the 360, it was easier to develop for, and it was like $100 to $200 cheaper, depending on which PS4 you got. I mean, which PS3 you got. Exactly. So now Sony took both of those away this generation. You know what I'm saying? We got the power, but we still don't have the price tag. But you know what I mean? I don't see nothing wrong. It's an optional console, so I like the Xbox One X. So. My bad. Go ahead, Neefles.
Yeah, and I think about like phones too, like iPhones. People, I know they have payment plans, but people do buy those things out of pocket too. We have higher echelon people now who do buy higher end products. People are going to 4K TVs. Yes, they drop in price, but sometimes people do pick up the KS8000, which is roughly around like $1,000 anyways. So we do have higher tier people paying more, and I don't think the 500 price tag is going to be so bad.
Okay.
I think people keep forgetting the narrative, though. I think people keep forgetting the narrative of what Phil Spencer said in the beginning in the first place. This console is for the loyalists. This console is for people that love power. It's not for the casual. It's more for the people that's been rocking out with them from day one and want that power. So if I think if people keep that mindset, they won't get so discouraged about the price tag.
Well, even you said the loyalists, and I want to get my man Salty's game. My man already got stage right. Come on, big fella.
Stage right. I got you.
All right, but anyway, let's check it out. Right, so you said that for the enthusiasts, all right? Because again, like I said, Xbox guys. Maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm gonna add Salty and get his opinion. Digital Foundry, right? Or whoever. You know what I mean? It was a point. Like I said, Xbox. We didn't even get the chance to enjoy our what you call our demos or betas or even the commercial. I remember they were so bad that they snatched down, was it the Gears of War beta trailer or whatever? And someone was 720p. And they're not applying that same scrutiny to PlayStation exclusives. I have yet to see the frames per second or the Spider-Man demo or the God of War demo or the Last of Us. What's not the Last of Us? What you call it? No Days Gone. Any of that shit. When the Xbox was out in E3 2014, 15, 16, they were snatching them shit down right away, breaking them down. You know what I mean? And they're not doing this thing. You hear I forget the guy's name. Well, you sit back from a certain angle and the imaging is not that soft and like that's crazy as hell to me. Like, what do you think about this, Salty?
I just think that the jump from non-HD to HD was so big at the time.
That was huge.
It was huge, right? So people are going from a standard TV to an HD TV. So it was a talking point because it was huge. But right now, the adoption rate with 4K televisions and we're at the percentage that we are. But I don't know if necessarily people. I think that narrative's kind of weaned off. I don't see. Like I said, I think that Sony controls the market share, so the money's there, obviously, for the IGNs and all this other stuff to be, pro Sony and not come out with a video that says, "Hey, let's take a look at how good this Xbox, game looks as opposed to Sony," because there's millions, 30 plus more million adopters for the the PlayStation. I just think that the times have kind of changed. And, the marketing strategies have changed for Sony. But I don't know, like the HD to non-HD thing, I think that was huge here. So that's my take on that one. I think it's just a little bit different now.
I think there's a couple things. Like the first, when they saw all the negativity that the Xbox was surrounded with at the beginning, and they saw how many hits that got, they immediately went to negativity against Xbox sales. So no matter what, it didn't matter if Xbox did something great. It didn't matter if Xbox did something bad. It was always going to have a negative connotation because that is what gets clicks. And to these websites, all that matters is if they click or not. So they was putting out all these videos, even the Surge, when Digital Foundry did the Surge, and it had better lighting and frame pacing and all that shadows on the Xbox One. That was real underplayed. But anytime it's better on the PS4, it's like Xbox is obviously the worst console in this case. Like they always say the same bullshit, but whenever Xbox has a leg up, they play it off and then say, but this part is better on the PS4. They never do that because they do that only because it sells. Like people will click and then they'll be in the comment section arguing. So they'll get another click, and then they'll come back to respond to that comment, get another click. It's all about them controlling the narrative of negativity in order to get those clicks. Just like I haven't seen a single build a PC that has the same specs as the PS4 Pro. I haven't seen a single one of them damn things. But I've seen at least
but people are trying to push X build, aren't
make
they?
an Xbox One X build that doesn't actually do what the Xbox One X does. Like I've seen at least every single major site do that exact same article. Not one of them has done a PS4 Pro comparison. Because
and speaking on that, Maslin, you said they're controlling a type of narrative for drama for clicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
The biggest example is probably Grassgate with GTA 5, if you guys remember that. Anyways, if you notice, they actually damage control PS4 videos too. I remember when they scrutinized the Halo 5 beta for screen tearing for being 720p, but they didn't say shit when the Uncharted 4 beta wasn't 1080p and it was dropping frames. It couldn't even hold at 60 frames.
Facts.
Well,
like I said, they pushed a narrative that works, and right now the narrative that works is negative against Xbox. And even when Microsoft comes out, gives you all the power you've been asking for and whining about for the last 3.5 years, it's always, oh, but it's not 2160p. It's not native 4K. It's not true 4K. I haven't seen any of those with the PS4 Pro because I watched the damn reveal of the PS4 Pro. It had 4K all over that damn screen. I don't see none of those videos. Oh, it's checkerboarding, but it's okay. It's PS4. It looks beautiful. Just like they put out that article about how checkerboarding, how the PS4 Pro can teach PCs how to be better because of checkerboarding. If you don't get the hell out of here with that stupidity. But
yo,
yo,
they don't even in regards to the Xbox One X, they don't even bring the Pro in the conversation no more. It just became the X and the PC.
That's the fuck out of there. Post up,
but something that it can't beat. They just want to go with whatever it cannot beat. Microsoft can't win because they're fighting a battle against people who are literally trying to bring them down in order to lift themselves up. It's just they're fighting a battle against a tide that's already moved.
Yeah, I mean they gotta appease their clicking audience. They gotta appease those people who want the drama, who want their PlayStation to be better. But anyways, you have to also remember with the Xbox One X, Microsoft needs to teach people there's a difference between resolution and textures. We keep saying 4K, but 4K resolution doesn't mean shit, right, Z? It's all about those textures. It's all about them shaders. Microsoft needs to teach people like Sony taught about resolution. That's how you're going to really win this power narrative.
The higher the resolution, the better the image quality. That's
right,
all.
But
resolution is just going to bring you
the
clearer, more sharper, and more crisper image.
Here, I'm a play devil's advocate for that. I agree with you that graphics and resolution are not the same thing, and everybody who screams one or the other and doesn't know that they are not the same thing, just get the hell away from me because there's no point in talking to you.
But I don't.
To the normal casual consumer, they hear 4K, they think better graphics. We, the enthusiasts, the people who be in these comment sections, the people who make videos about this stuff, we know that they aren't the same thing. But when they're trying to sell it to Joe Smo down the street, they're going to say 4K because what they see is they go into a Best Buy and they're looking for the newest TV. They're like, oh, they got this one is 4K. Okay, well, that matches that. Let me get this 4K because that's the best. They don't care. All the shaders and textures and all that stuff. Even if you put that on the box in big bold letters, the only thing they're gonna see is 4K.
Going to accept it. Exactly.
I think texture. I'm sorry, but in regards to, I think in the future, I think it will be less about resolution and textures and more about HDR lighting and colors. How many colors a TV can produce? I think that will have a bigger effect on games than the resolution and the textures coming up. Lighting, HDR, and color in the color spectrum.
I think it's easy to put, the reason why they're going with the resolution is because it has numbers next to it. It's easier for the consumer to see numbers and say, it has this, this resolution, but like, how would you sell graphics to someone. Like it doesn't have like a minute number to it, you know. For
there's no way to
comparison,
define it.
it's easier to say, you know, this is HD, this is resolution, boom, it's sold. You know,
but that's why they come up with these terms like 4K or
yeah.
So that's why they come up with these terms because
like just like when you went into this generation move or the 360 generation moving from SD to HD, you saw this one's 720p, this one's 1080i, this one's 1080p. You knew 1080 was a bigger number than 720. So you went for that TV. People see 4K. Oh, it's 4 times as much as 1080. That's not quite how this works, but that's how they think because, again, it's a number attached. They know this number is bigger than this number, so this one must be better. That's just how people work, and they work backwards. Like HDR. If I go buy a 4K TV, there's no way in hell I'm gonna buy one without HDR. But that's me because I know the difference. If someone normal goes into Best Buy and they see a 4K TV for $599 and it has horrible colors, no HDR, sound quality is off, has bad dampening, darkened corners, they're gonna buy it because it's $599. It may be the worst 4K TV that's ever been produced, but it's $599. Like,
and it's 4K. That's all they care about.
It's just how they work. They get it in there. They put it on the wall. They boys come over there like, yo, I got this 4K joint. What up, though? You ain't on my level. Like that's how people are. It is just the reality of how people's minds work. They gonna go in there, get this 4K, put it on the wall, and they're gonna show off to all the shorties, yo, let's Netflix and chill on my 4K TV.
It's all about the number.
What it is, bro.
But next gen, you still there?
4K is the number.
I'm here, brother. I'm here.
All right. I'm gonna need you for this one. Now, I'm gonna give a shout out to Bang Bang because I heard this is where he actually got this. But you saw a comparison between Final Fantasy, the new one, on the PS4 and the Scorpio.
I might do a video on that tomorrow. I gotta get the photos from my man. Yeah, he had the side by side comparisons.
Exactly. You need side by side comparisons to teach them what maybe graphics are, or to teach them why the X is the power you need.
You know what? Again, you know what's crazy? I don't know if motherfuckers playing dumb, deaf, and blind, but because you still have some people. I'll give you an example. I don't have a problem with this guy. I made a fun teasing, kind of, just having fun with him. The guy Stone Fox Media was talking about Mario was the devil and you need Jesus and all that wild shit.
He was possessing.
Yeah, he went kind of left with that one, but. When you got guys like that, right? And I don't know because people for so long claim that I don't play no games and which is whatever. Like I said, believe nothing what you hear and half of what you see. Maybe he. Cause I understand. Like in the day, and it's okay to have a preference. Okay, I'm more of an Xbox guy. I'll let it be known. I bleed green. You know what I mean? Like shit, people may not admit it. We all got our favorite child. We all got our favorite car. You know what I mean? I might like my mistress more than my motherfucking wife. It is what it is. I'm human. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Now, with that being said, but when he comes out and does stuff like, well, they're both checkerboarding and then upscaling in 4K. So why am I getting in the Xbox One X? Prime example, and this is something that Digital Foundry should have really nailed home when they didn't. When they did the beta analysis for Destiny 2, Mike, could you stop jumping, please? Will you knock the TV down and I have to beat you and go to jail? Go in your room, play jump rope. And they did this, the breakdown of Destiny 2. And he was saying, yeah, well, the PS4 Pro, you have it's upscaling on whatever 1800p or checkerboard, this, that, and the other. But it's using the same low assets as the PlayStation 4 Pro. You know what I mean? And that's very important. And I say this again. People act like they didn't know what I was talking about, you know what I mean? Because let's be real. I'm not just shitting on the Pro. The Pro is a very capable console. You know what I mean? It's 4.2 terabyte. What you have, what you call specs on paper, then what you have real world performance. And it, like, not to get too technical, they can either give you a higher resolution or better graphics. Had I known back then in November when I bought this console that it was just going to give me a higher resolution, I just would have kept my PS4 standard, and my TV already is 4K, and it makes it upscale. And Sony said themselves that you don't need a Pro because the Slim and everything else can do HDR. So fine, I'm covered across all bases, right? Am I right? Am I wrong? Not, this is what they said. So boom. Now, you look what he said in the video that is running the same assets as the PS4 Slim, and that is the problem. And that's the problem. The issue again that the Xbox, the X is not going to have. they're going to be running thing in high or epic or ultra settings. I mean, even the developer from Ark said, with the game, whether you say the game is dog shit or not.
1080p, 60 frames. It's fucking hard to do, dude. And this is
epic settings.
Epic. That's higher than ultra.
And the PS4 is doing low settings. It's going to be a huge deal. Even that little screen, side by picture you showed me, is a night and day. And it's already, Final Fantasy is a nice looking game. You know what I mean? Maybe the PC guys, they're more used to it, but us as being console gamers, look, when I saw that Metro demo at the beginning of Microsoft E3,
you saw that was a new generation.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Listen, I knew that it was running on a PC, but with the specs of a Xbox One X, I was thrilled. What's that, Anthem? And they tried to go out there and describe. Well, no, that was Epic. I'm sorry, EA and BioWare said that was running on the Xbox One X. We're getting that in a fucking console. I'm straight. You know what I mean? I am fucking straight.
It blows your mind, right? That's running real time on Xbox One X specs.
Yes.
That's what you're going to have in your living room. That's what's going to, this is what people need to understand, Z, and why I'm saying market this correctly. There's going to be more checkerboarded games. We're going to just have to accept this. I don't know if it'll be the standard, but there will be more checkerboarded games. So you have to teach these people that there are such thing as better shaders, better textures, wide color gamut. You have to teach them stuff that PS4 Pro and what Sony's afraid of. They're going to have to teach you that the Pro cannot do this. Be the behemoth that you are. This is what I mean when I say be the behemoth you are. And this is what I'm sure what you're trying to been getting at for years now. You have to go for the throat. You have to be competitive. You can't just be peaceful.
Hey, I see Ernie. I see Beyond Wisdom just joined with his camera.
Yeah, what's going on?
Back there smoking the pipe, man. What's going on, bro? I'll try to get you in here early. But listen, I'll let you guys, like I said, y'all can touch on that, what I said, or if you want to say something before we get the hell up out of here. Rocking up for hours.
About the behemoth you are, the problem is Phil is passive. He just is. He ain't got the heart to be in this fight in the ground. But he do have Albert Pinello and he got Mikey Barra. They don't care. Like, it's obvious that neither one of them dudes give a damn. So what Phil is gonna do is he gonna throw the rock and hide his hand. So he gonna put out little tidbits like we have the best way to play your games. Then Mikey Barra is going to put out things like it's the best place to play all your games. Everything you do on this system will be better than anywhere else that you can get it in the console space. So
I mean, shit, you have Albert Pinello like saying Xbox One X is beast mode, like built in and shit. Like, you need to be cocky like that,
right? And
but
Phil's
not
going to do it.
I think at the end of the day, it's going to be the main thing is show and tell. You got to show me what your console can do at the end of the day. So I think that once we get these consoles in here and we actually have them at home, and us YouTubers, stuff like that, where the main media is pretty much getting their content from, even a novice, playing these games at these high settings, streaming at 4K. That's your marketing right there. Someone's gonna see that and be like, hey, you know what? I want to be in this same little circle that they're in.
Yeah, Microsoft needs to pounce. I mean, Sony is timid. They don't want these comparison videos. They don't want comparison pictures because they know their Pro looks like shit.
Hey, man, I tell you one thing: Microsoft needs to double down on this YouTube shit. People are not watching Sony like we used to. Like, I don't even watch Game of Thrones live on TV. I watch it on the HBO. Like, yo, YouTube is life right now. Like, the fact that I'm going to my boy.
Phil, hey, I'm just saying it real quick before you go into it. Hey, Phil, if you are watching this, I'm just saying, shout out to you. Love your content, love your product, but can you please start investing into these YouTubers? Put some money in their pocket to advertise that they're going Xbox One X. Trust me,
I'll tell you one thing. The fact that I go to my boy Next Gen 720, who's a known Xbox guy's channel, and PlayStation pops up, tells me exactly who's doing what out here, bro. And shit, yo, like, come on, man.
From me by market on YouTube. I'm seeing PlayStation ads for God's sakes.
Garrett, man, that's freaking Google has a hatred for freaking Microsoft, so you'll be seeing that PlayStation shit a lot more.
They don't have a hatred for money beyond wisdom. That's all I'll say.
True. It's absolutely true. Like I said, Microsoft, they saw the light and they're going in that direction towards the online advertising because, like I said, it costs nothing. It costs nothing to put it on your YouTube channel. Let everybody else share it and repost it on their channels, and because that's what happens when people put out these little teasers for like the Hot Wheels thing. They put out the Forza Hot Wheels thing, and in no less than 10 minutes, it was on at least 5 other people's channels. The entire trailer. So you immediately put out this viral marketing. Right. Don't flag it. Don't flag it. Don't put it on Nintendo. Just let them put it on their channel. Don't say nothing. You got it. It's free It's free advertising. It's free advertising. Don't matter if you got 5 subscribers or 5 million. It's free advertising to the people.
Well, Microsoft needs to get a point to make people drool over their product. People like Angry Joe, they want people like him to drool over this product and want to be about it, get it for free, and advertise the fuck out of it because he wants it genuinely.
Right.
Don't pay for people to advertise your shit.
He used to be an Xbox guy though, man, but he went straight freaking PC. So
he just goes with the popular console. So become that popular console with being better.
If you pay him enough, he'll be about it.
Pretty much.
If you pay him enough, but make him want it.
This is the thing, though. You don't even have to pay these dudes. You literally just have to send them free stuff. Send them free stuff.
Yeah, you'll just be like. You'll just be like Boogie and freaking Larry Herb, man. You see that shit? Freaking Larry Herb showed up at his house, give him a freaking Xbox, man.
Hey, but before we get out of here, I just want to
send me this.
Touch up on this. What do you guys think about PlayerUnknown's Battleground? I think Microsoft needs to fucking grab this game, make it a full-time exclusive, and stop this whole PS4 talk.
When that game come out, that game is going to push the Xbox One sales. Period.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They can play the game fairly. There's no cheaters. There's no aimbots. There's none of that shit. You don't deal with PC multiplayer.
No, what they should do, honestly. Even though it's a digital only game or whatever, they should do bundles with the console.
Those would be fucking huge. Say like 4K on the box with PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds there on the front.
You know that can.
Why don't you just do a Forza and Player Underground?
Go ahead.
2 games in one bundle.
No, I'm just saying. If you look at, I'm just again now because it's huge. Especially it's huge.
Yeah, put the crack down.
I'm just
that too.
But that could be a good game to bundle with the
PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, the longest played non-Valve game on Steam ever. Do you know how huge this fucking game is?
Give it a physical copy. $30 or whatever it's going to cost.
Exactly. I mean, people don't let this go to the PS4. Make them drool. Make them want your exclusive.
Throw
These
the bag at them. Drop
for.
that bag.
Yeah,
drop that bag. Let them keep that Lawbreakers bullshit. Bro. They can have it. We don't give a fuck.
That shit.
We're gonna keep this shit.
Enough of those.
And I like Mikey Barra, who said, "So glad this is an Xbox exclusive. Be competitive. Buy this game. Don't let them leave your platform.
All right.
Console exclusive."
Okay. Like I said, with that being said, everybody spoke their piece.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, all right. So okay. Well, anyway, again, I want to give a special shout out to you guys that have been supporting the Patreon or just the live stream. And it's not even about a money thing, but just giving me a voice within this community. Like I said, I'm not one of those YouTubers that puts a wall up between me and my subscribers. You rock with me, I rock with you. I have something like I said, a surprise also that I'm going to do. That you guys are not even going to know about. Just way again for me just saying thank you, and you're just going to start seeing different things on the Patreon. You know what I mean? And thank you. I guess some people who's in. I think they're in the live. People in the live stream. I never in my life did a podcast with like 4 people in the live stream, but you got to get used to it. Just for the Patreon. Shout out to RTA King, the chosen one. Only is King. Shout out to you, man. VIP status. I appreciate it. Means the work. My man Yeezus, my man dropped $2. He got his brum ass in here. I appreciate it, my man. Put me over there, Hump Real Talk, man. And again, this is for you guys, and to say thank you. You're gonna get other videos and content and behind the scenes stuff. Just supporting it. Like I said, we're bringing back the live debates. Maybe so you guys want to get your debate on. Maybe you want to throw your hat into this big sea of YouTube to make it happen, man. You know what I mean? Thank you for rocking out and believing in the dream and supporting the live stream. Like tomorrow, We're going against Newcomb's team in Gears of War 4, 8 p.m. The Broadband Bullies. We're going to live slaughter.
Ooh, I smell a slaughter, man.
Listen, man, don't shoot the children. I shout. They think next gen don't play. They think I'm something else faces out. I can play Gears. I'm dog sitting up in Titanfall and maybe Halo, but Gears, I'll bust your ass in Gears. Let's go down tomorrow. You know what I mean? We're going to have some fun tomorrow. Thank you. I'm going to catch you guys later. And it is what it is, man. Anybody say anything? Any final words? Actually, let me get the link.
Yeah, let's get on with Broadband Bullies. Let's go.
Let me. I'm gonna get the links to everybody's channel here and throw them in on the Patreon page. And thank you. We out here.
Appreciate
y'all. God bless. Good night.
Love.